Hey, welcome back to Bandwagon fans. This is Jeff, and tonight I'm going to be talking about 5 Feet Apart. This is a romantic drama about two kids with cystic fibrosis falling in love in a hospital. But before we get into the review, I just want to once again invite everybody to subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And of course, as always, the last ask, leave your comments below. If you have anything you want to talk about, if you saw the movie, if you liked it, or if you have any personal stories about this or about this kind of topic. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and enjoy some highlights from the trailer.
I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Will Newman.
6 feet apart at all times. You both know the rules.
Let me guess. You're the kind of guy that ignores the rules because it makes you feel in control. Am I right?
You're not wrong.
You think that's cute?
Do you think it's cute?
Hello, world.
My lung function is down to 35% now.
People with cystic fibrosis aren't supposed to get within 6 feet because we could end up catching each other's bacteria.
After all that CF is stolen from me, I don't mind stealing something back.
This whole time I've been living for my treatments instead of doing my treatments so that I can live. And I want to live.
All right, so this is 5 Feet Apart. This is directed by, see, I just had it. Directed by Justin Baldoni, and this is starring Haley Lou Richardson as Stella and Cole Sprouse as Will. And these are two teenagers who have cystic fibrosis and meet up in a hospital. And the big conflict within this is that two people with cystic fibrosis have to stay at least 6 feet apart from each other, or else they could pass each other's bacteria amongst each other, and it could cause a life-threatening situation. So two people with cystic fibrosis have to stay apart, but these two kids, of course, fall in love, and drama ensues. So is this a good movie? Of course it's a good movie. Will you cry? Of course you're going to cry. It's about two kids who are facing death in a hospital but find love. This is about as easy as a baby seal. As easy as saying a baby seal is cute. So, which is kind of what made this movie worthwhile. And in a couple minutes, I'll kind of get to the one issue I had with this particular movie. But on the good side, this is a movie this is a life-affirming movie. The message in it is fairly obvious. Appreciate the time you have because it could be short. The only real issue is there's a couple points in the movie where they beat that message over our heads a little bit too much, and they could have exercised a little more restraint and probably cut one scene. But the real strength of this movie is Haley Lou Richardson. She and her performance were just absolutely beautiful in the best possible way. She radiates a warmth and energy and is endearing in such a natural and easy way that you just immediately root for her. And just don't want, she really kind of brings out a paternal instinct, and not just from the fact that she has tubes in her mouth, in her nose all the time from the CF, but just her demeanor, her smile, the way she carries herself. You just instantly, I just wanted to not have anything bad happen to her. But of course, in a movie like this, there's always that bad thing, the specter of death looming over most of the characters in this movie. Cole Sprouse also did really well. His character starts off being rather unlikable. It was in the very beginning of the movie. The way they meet reminded me of Heathers, and Cole Sprouse kind of looks like and kind of his character was similar to Christian Slater in Heathers. Although I was just looking up on IMDb, I was very surprised that Cole Sprouse was Ben Geller from Friends. And I think a lot of people associated with this movie come from the TV world. Anyways, so initially he was very unlikable, but as his character developed, learned new lessons, he also became very sympathetic, and really just these two, Cole Sprouse and Haley Lu Richardson, they carried the movie. It was their performances that made this really worth watching. And at the end, throughout the theater, people are sniffling because it's kids with cystic fibrosis. It's hard not to get choked up thinking about the reality behind this movie. So that's really the strength of it, was these performances. There's the cinematography for a really low budget. Kind of an isolated in terms of setting. It was all shot within one hospital. There was some really creative. What's the right word? I'm not just framing, but there's really creative composition in the cinematography, and I really did appreciate that. They did a really good job of illustrating the space between the two characters, and some really interesting shot selection in that regard. Although in a movie where they make such a strong point about how the distance they have to maintain between each other, they're sometimes played a little too fast and loose with those rules, not as an intentional plot device, but just just clumsy blocking. But overall, for what this was, the cinematography was actually really nice, and it'd be interesting to go back and watch this again just to appreciate some of those compositions and how they frame the characters within each scene. So there are some other really nice stand-up performances. Let me see if I got his name right. Moises Arias was the third CF patient within this theater. And for those of you who don't know, I don't know a lot about cystic fibrosis. What I do know about it comes from another movie called, and so the other movie was something I saw in an anthropology class. It's called Sick, the Bob Flanagan story. Could not be more different from this. And it's in its own way, Sick is also a love story, but it's more of a documentary about a really famous CF patient named Bob Flanagan and his wife, and I'm sorry I don't have her name ready to go, but they were also both really big in the BDSM community, for this bondage sadomasochism. And so I'm giving you that fair warning. If you're interested in seeing this movie, this documentary, just be warned that Sick has some scenes in there that are incredibly uncomfortable to watch. But that documentary, in its own way, is also really life affirming and really shows, in a way that 5 Feet Apart didn't, the struggles that a CF patient goes through, and also the ways that they fight back against their disease to kind of claim a little bit of their own humanity. And that's really a theme. As I was watching 5 Feet Apart, that was also a theme that kept coming back up again. And it's actually, there's a scene in the trailer where Haley Lu Richardson is talking about what CF had taken from her, and she was going to take the opportunity to steal something back from the disease. But the one issue with the movie was its lack of restraint in tugging at the heartstrings. You had me at hello. The movie did not have to work as hard as it did to get an emotional response, and there's one part in the movie in particular where it just had too many different plot elements going on. It should have cut an entire scene out and just really focused on the core story, and it would have had an even bigger impact at the end. I do feel like because it was trying too many different things and trying to take us in too many different directions. At the end, the final payoff wasn't as impactful, because at that point I was like, I'm kind of over this. But overall, this was a good movie. again, this is the kind of movie that certain people are not going to like, are not going to have any interest in. But and you know who you are. But if you like movies that are going to leave you with a good cry, this is a good movie to check out. And I think it's worth going to a movie theater. There's nothing about this movie that's more impactful in a movie theater versus watching it at home. But it's the kind of movie that should be supported, maybe for a matinee, or like I went to a Harkins where all the tickets are $6. You know, support these kind of movies in the theater so that more of these kind of movies get made. But probably not worth a full price, full ticket price. So that's pretty much it. That's my review of this movie. And if you're interested, check out Sick, the Bob Flanagan story. I'm pretty sure I have that title right. But just be forewarned, there is some disturbing scenes in that movie, even though it does have... sorry, I'm just going to look this up real quick. Yeah. So it's Sick, Bob Flanagan. Yeah, Sick, the life and death of Bob Flanagan. All right, see if I can get this right. It's called Sick, the Life and Death of Bob Flanagan, Super Masochist. And it is a movie about a very famous BDSM and CF patient. So check out both of them. CDSM. Check out Sick and 5 Feet Apart. Both in their own way interesting movies. So that's going to wrap this up. Once again, I'm Jeff. Thanks for watching, and get on the bandwagon.